Roy. Good morning and welcome to Dorset Council's Licensing Subcommittee. My name is Councillor Emma Parker and I'm Chairman of Dorset Council Licensing Committee. Before we start, I'd just like to go through a few ground rules with you. If you can only, this is a live meeting, it's a public meeting, so it will be live on YouTube. Can you only speak when you're invited to speak by the chair? If you have not been introduced before you wish to speak, then please state your name before speaking. Please mute your microphones and turn your camera off when you're not speaking, apart from the 3 councillors that are on this subcommittee today. If you wish to speak, there is a raise your hand function, but anybody that has actually put their request in to speak will actually have their opportunity to speak. So it's very, very rare that we use that function. There is a chat bar, and I will just say that the chat bar is only there if you have any issues with your computer, any technical issues. It is not there for chat, and it is not monitored by any of us as councillors, but it is monitored by our Democratic Service Officer. If you could please keep background noise to a minimum. I know that's not always easy, but if you could, that would be great. And if you could also turn off any alerts that you may have on your device or on your mobile phone. Okay, thank you. So now I would like to do some introductions. I've already introduced myself, so if I could ask my other 2 fellow councillors to introduce themselves, please.
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
I'm Mike Dyer. I represent Westmoreland and Three-Legged Cross.
Good morning, I'm Councillor Kate Weller and I represent Rodwell and Wyke Regis, which is part of Weymouth.
Thank you, councillors. And then I would like the council officers to introduce themselves, and I will start with the committee clerk.
Good morning, I'm Elaine Tibble. I'm a Democratic Services Officer for Dorset Council.
Thank you, Elaine. And then our legal representative.
Good morning, I'm Lara Autry. I'm a solicitor with Dorset Council.
Thanks, Lara. And the report author, our licensing team leader.
Good morning, Chair. I am the licensing team leader and my name is Aileen Powell.
Thanks, Aileen. I will now ask that all parties and their representatives in attendance to introduce themselves, starting with the applicant. Do we have the applicant with us this morning?
No, Chair, the applicant has indicated that they will not be attending.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any responsible authorities, i.e. planning, fire, the police?
No, Chair, none of the responsible authorities made any representations on this application.
Okay, thank you very much. Any person who has made a representation, who has completed their notice in attendance and wishes to speak, I would like to call on you now to introduce yourselves. And I believe we've got Councillor Bartlett.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Good morning, members and officers, and thank you for letting me speak at this meeting. I'm going to make a statement on behalf of the Wimborne Town Council and the Chairman of the Town Council, but just for clarity and transparency, I'm also the ward member for Wimborne Minster on Dorset Council. So if you're okay, Madam Chairman, I'll start my statement.
I will come back to you. We're just going to have to go run through some processes of the agenda, and then I will call you to speak on your turn. Okay?
Beg your pardon, thank you.
That's okay. Thank you, Councillor Bartlett. Have I missed anybody out?
The only other officer here is Louise Gosnold.
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself, Louise?
Yeah, my name is Louise Gosnold and I'm the licensing officer that currently covers the East Dorset area and received the original application.
Thank you. Okay, now we will elect a chair for this meeting. Do I have a proposal for one of the members of the subcommittee for who to chair the meeting?
Yes, I'd like to propose that Councillor Emma Parker chairs the meeting.
And I'm happy to second that.
Thank you, councillors. Do we have any apologies?
There's no apologies. I've just had somebody from a town clerk that's trying to come into the meeting, Lawrence Hewitt. Is that ring any bells?
I will go
With the-
to either Louise, Aileen, and obviously get guidance from Lara on that one, please.
We've only been notified that Councillor Bartlett is speaking for the Town Council.
Okay, so shall I refuse entry or he's gone again?
Okay.
It's gone.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll move on then. Thanks for that. We have no apologies. Do either councillors have any declarations of interest?
I have no declarations of interest.
And I don't have any either, thank you.
And I don't have any. Okay, thank you. Do we have any urgent business?
No, Chair.
Thank you very much. So the case before us today is for the variation for the cafe on the square in Wimborne, and I will now ask our licensing team leader to outline the details of the application. Aileen, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Well, all the details for the actual application are contained within the report, and I will not read any of that out to you again. What I'd like to say is that this is an application to enable the cafe on an occasional basis to have a bar outside. It is currently done under 10s, and what they have stated is that they have no ambition to extend what they currently do, which is between 8 and 5, but this application is solely to cut down on the paperwork for the occasional later event, i.e. the folk festival, Christmas social gatherings, history festival and food festival. Now, whilst it is quite possible that current owners of this premises, that is their intention, if a licence is granted for the full hours, then obviously the licence is available for the full hours. It's always a toss-up between issuing licences for any potential possibility and controlling it enough that they can't then just carry on and do whatever they want whenever they want and do things that they haven't suggested they're going to do in the application. So I believe it would be probably possible to condition the licence with the condition to say that the off sales were only authorised when another event was going on within the square. Any licence amendments, should they be granted, could be subject to a review if you were minded to grant the licence without any conditions or the variation without any conditions. And it has to be said that if you don't grant the variation, then 10s can still be applied for. And I would say that the 10s mechanism is slightly less controlled than, say, the licence, because a 10s can only be objected to by the police and environmental health. Thank you, Chair.
Just for clarification, Aileen, could you just say as to how many 10s are permitted for a year?
15 10s per premises. But that said, if the 10s are for different areas outside in Wimborne, then you could have 15 on each little area, depending on where you put the bar.
Okay, thank you. I just want a clarification on that. Thank you very much. Okay, councillors, do you have any questions for Aileen?
I don't think I do, thank you, Chair.
Councillor Dyer, do you have any questions for Aileen?
No, I don't. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, obviously we don't have the applicant, we don't have any responsible parties. We do have Councillor Bartlett. Councillor Bartlett, do you have any questions for Aileen at this time?
No, Madam Chairman, I don't. Thank you.
Thank you. Another thing, Aileen, I don't know whether it be you that would be able to clarify this or whether it would be Louise. Can you just confirm as to whether there has been any complaints or concerns raised around this premises, say in the last, I would say in the last 12 months, but I'm probably going to go the last couple of years.
I will let Louise answer that one.
Thank you very much.
I'm not aware of any complaints we've had about the business in the last 12 months or 2 years with regards to 10s or operating on a day-to-day basis.
Thanks, Louise. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, next, generally I would go to the applicant, but unfortunately we don't have the applicant with us this morning, and obviously we obviously don't have any responsible authorities with us today. So what I will now do is ask Councillor Bartlett if he would like to come forward with a statement. Obviously, Councillor Bartlett's made it clear that he is here as a representative of the town council. So yeah, Councillor Bartlett.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. So the statement from the Wimborne Minster Town Council reads, the Town Council supports the cafe culture in Wimborne Minster, particularly in the events area of the square. However, the Town Council has concerns for the residents who live above the events area, and the applicant's proposed closing time of 11 p.m. is unreasonable. In order to protect the residents from noise and disturbance at this relatively late hour, the Town Council suggests that the licensing subcommittee restricts the premises licence to a closing time of 9 p.m. The applicants may say that in normal times, public houses are open until at least 11 p.m. and sometimes later, but the only licensed premises in the immediate vicinity is a hotel of good standing, which does not attract a rowdy clientele, which typical public houses might do. The Town Council was concerned that the applicants were intending to act as an off licence for the sale of intoxicating liquor, but they have clarified that this is not the case. Otherwise, the Town Council would have asked for a condition to restrict off sales to customers sitting at the cafe's tables. And that ends the statement. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Bartlett. Councillors, do you have any questions for Councillor Bartlett?
I don't. That's perfectly clear to me. Thank you.
No, I don't think I have any questions for him either. Thank you. Thanks very much for the statement there, Councillor Bartlett.
Okay, yeah, I've just got one question for Councillor Bartlett. I just wondered as well, in the from the Town Council's point of view, have you had any concerns or needed to raise any concerns around this premises in the past?
I think the most typical concern that's come across has been at times where the cafe has not necessarily operated within the restricted zone it has to operate in, and also that it has operated at times when there's supposed to be the 30 clear days on the square. But that is really the highlight of any complaints that have come forward. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you very much. Okay, I will. So, councillors, you have no questions. I will go to Aileen. Do you have any questions for Councillor Bartlett?
No, Chair, thank you.
Louise, as you are the, as it's your area, do you have any questions for Councillor Bartlett?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will now go on to summing up. I don't actually have any further questions for either Aileen or Councillor Bartlett. Councillors, do you have any questions?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay.
Nothing from me either. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Bartlett, is there anything else that you would like to add? I'd like to, be mindful that you've said everything that you wanted to say to come here today, because that's what it's about, is to get you, say what you need to.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. That's just to reiterate the point that I fully concur with, that the Town Council has made, that above the square in the various premises there is a substantial amount of residents that live above the square, and at night noise does travel, and we have a concern about any unreasonable disturbance for those residents that live adjacent to the square. And I think that the Town Council statement and the proposal in that, with the greatest respect, Madam Chairman, I think is a reasonable consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Aileen, would you like to sum up, please?
Thank you, Chair. I don't really have very much to add to anything that's already been said. The only point I'd like to make is that any representations about need or competition or anything like that are not considerations for you. Otherwise, it's just for you to consider what you've heard and read.
Okay, thank you very much. Lara, do you have anything to add to see that we've addressed all relevant points?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, in which case the public part of the meeting will now conclude. The subcommittee will consider its decision in private with our Democratic Service Officer in remote attendance, and we will be asking our legal advisor to join us for legal guidance if we need it. Once we've made our decision, which I like to think that it will be today, our decision will be sent out as soon as we're able to, and once you've received the decision, you will get it out to you in writing again within 5 working days. Anybody that has made representation that isn't happy with the outcome of our decision does have a right to appeal to Weymouth Magistrates Court within 21 days. Do I now have a vote from councillors to close this session and to go into a private session?
Agreed.
Agreed, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for attending this morning. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.